you know. And
What do you think for you as you've grown and you've had different experiences was one of the experiences that really shaped you maybe more in your adulthood that was like I had perhaps not the best experience with a friend, or maybe I had a really good experience with a friend. Like this is what shaped me to start to realize this is what a healthy relationship with a person looks like, what a friend looks like. What was that turning point for you?
mm, well, I think I started, like, for example, with that one friend in high school. Um, for me was that the fact that I never felt like I had to beg for her friendship again, or like, which I might have. I'm. She was in every right to ask that of me,
Yeah.
but she never required that to for us to be friends. So I think that was one of my early awakenings to, oh, this is a good thing, you know,
Yeah.
forgiveness.
Mm-hmm.
This is a good thing. And then I had another friend that during my time, well, we've been friends for like 16 years, I think. And during that time where I was in Mexico, por cosas del destino, um, she helped my mom with the whole process of bringing me back.
Oh.
And she went out of her way to do a lot of paperwork for my mom, or to help my mom with that. So I appreciated that a lot. So then in that I saw, man, what you said at the beginning, leaving my needs to the side to help someone else. But now with you, I think with you, I think um, I think the first time we, I don't want to say
She's
fought,
gonna. I knew she was gonna say the first time we had a fight.
but the first time we had, yeah, we had a fight. And I realized, well, one, I'm not leaving because we're co-workers
Right.
also. But I realized, I'm not going. We are not going to leave this as it is. Not because you're my coworker, but because I care that this isn't left as it is. We both care that your feelings are resolved and validated, and my feelings are resolved and validated. And so after that, I think it was very rocky, and I think for a couple of days after we're like, you know, but I feel like after that, every argument we've had, it's become easier and easier. And by easier, I don't mean that we brush it off very quick and like, oh, resolve, boom, move on to the next thing. No, but what I mean by easier is, we've managed to change our language. We've managed to change our perspective of each other. We've managed to
Even guard our tone.
we've managed to sometimes not say anything, because not because I know how you're going to react or because I know you, but because I understand you. Because I'm like, I know why she said that. It's fine. If it comes up later, I'll speak about it and I'll be honest with it. But I'm not going to hold it. You know, I'm not going to hold it and, just keep it there and, make it sting every time. No. And then it's happened where it comes out later and it's like, well, this and that. I'm like, oh, well, I didn't know. I'm like, okay, well, I know that you didn't know. I'm letting you know now. And okay, fine. Well, thank you. I'll receive it. Let me pour it into your cup as well. And I was telling the other day, a little friend of mine, she was telling me about like her issues, todo eso. And I was telling her, well, I don't know about a relationship between boyfriend and girlfriend. I don't know about that. But I know about friendships. And what I can tell you is that what we've done is we've committed to each other. I'm not leaving, you're not leaving, and not because we're coworkers, but because we decided this is a friendship that's going to last. This is a friendship that I want to see your kids, you want to see my kids, and if we really want to do that, if we really want to be Dorcas and la presidenta and la vicepresidenta,
Switch.
And then switch, these little things, we need to resolve them now. We need to get over that now And yes, we'll make mistakes along the way, but at least the big issue is it's done and over with. So I think our friendship, and again, people over there can be saying, well, you know, I've seen things, or I don't know about that. But I do think, and it might sound snobbish and it might sound, you know, however you want to take it, but I do think our friendship is an example of a good friendship.
Oh, I was like, what are you going to say that you say snobbish?
Yeah, I do think that our friendship is maybe not a standard, but it's a really good standard.
We have a good, healthy relationship.
Yes, we do. We have a very good, healthy relationship, because I don't doubt that you have my best interest. I don't doubt it. And I know you don't doubt that I have your best interest. You know, and I don't doubt that you love me. And I know you don't doubt that I love you.
Ay, stop.
So okay. So I think because we don't doubt that essence of our friendship, it's easier to be honest in a loving way.
Yeah.
It's easier to be understanding, even though you're hurting, but understand that person. I you know, and I'm using the word easier, but reality is it's not easy. You know, it's not easy to put your feelings and needs sometimes.
Bless you.
Oh, thank you. It's not easy to put your feelings and emotions to the side to focus on, okay, I see that you have you were having a problem with that, you know, whatever.
Right.
You know, it's not easy to be told you're wrong. You know, you acted.
Don't I know it?
you acted in a way that hurt me, you know, or you're acting in a way that's hurting me. Like, it's not easy to hear that.
Or you're acting immature.
You know, it's not easy to, and I'll say this too, it's not easy to be the other person as well. It's not easy to say, I was immature, or that, you know, like.
And take it, is what you're saying.
Yeah, exactly. So I think for, you know, I think I was talking to this little friend of mine, and when I told her that we had arguments, she's like, what? What do you mean you had arguments? What do you mean you fight? And I think that's it's a good thing for our friendship. You know, it's a good testimony. People think that we are that close just because, but no, we are that close. We are this, you know, what they see on Sundays is because we fight. It's because we come to terms. It's because we are honest, and not just honest in a nasty way of like you said at the beginning. Well, I'm gonna tell you how it is, you know, and I don't care about your feelings because you are responsible for your feelings. No, that's not a friend. No, I'm sorry. I am so sorry. But if you're that kind of person that says, well, I'm gonna be honest, and I'm honest, and that's just my character, and that's my personality, and I'm not gonna change, dude. I don't know how you have friends.
That ending. I'm not going to change.
Yeah, I don't know how you have friends. And you probably don't. I'm so sorry. You probably don't have true, rewarding, fulfilling friendships. Because there's no way someone that has that attitude can attract a good friend. Because you attract what you are. And that to me, I think that is something that I could never see happening.
Yeah, no.
Where you have a really good friend with someone that is all the time, you're this, you're that, and you look this and you look that, and there's no growth. In fact, I'm going to destroy you every chance I get.
It's emotionally abusive.
Yeah.
I think, you know, I've had toxic relationships. I had one very specific toxic relationship, which I won't go into detail out of respect for the person, because that's how I am. I've had relationships where it's like, what was that, you know? I've also have had relationships where it wasn't a two-way street, you know? I think that it's only been a couple of years that I've started to really have a relationship that I'm really like, oh, this is healthy. And I think a lot of that started when I got into a relationship, because that started to shift my lifestyle. It started to shift my perspective, and that also showed me who really, like that whole thing that we just talked about, who really is there and happy for you when you are in a different season. As I've mentioned in previous podcasts, in our Spanish one specifically, I know that I'm married, and that's not what I see with the people around in my age, and so obviously when I got engaged, when I started dating someone, it was very weird for the people around me to really jump on that and get on board and be like, but why? Like, why are you getting married? Like, why do you want to be married? And that did hurt, that did hurt, because it was like, what do you mean? Like, if you really know me, you know how much I've wanted this means to me, and how much I want someone to meet my enthusiasm, to meet my joy that I'm in this season, And so I think that was the starting point to like also start to identify like, okay, are there people in my life that can understand the season that I'm in and be joyful with me and understand like, this is good for you. I'm happy that you're growing in this area of your life. So that was one that I'm like, a healthy relationship has that.
So in a way, you started backwards.
I started backwards.
Started with what's not
true
a good thing.
Yeah, what's not a good thing. And then I also had a really good lesson that some relationships are temporary. I do agree that commitment is extremely important, and I am committed to this friendship. But I also learned, because I had a hard time with this, I assumed every relationship was long-term. I assumed every relationship was going to be for that stage when we're old. And, I would even say this to friendships like, oh my gosh, I can't wait until the day that we're moms and, blah, blah, because my mind automatically goes to that.
Right.
I automatically cling to the future, and we're in this together. And the first time I had a relationship in my life that I started to realize we're drifting apart. And it was a good friendship. It was a good relationship. And I started to realize that shift. I realized like, whoa, okay, there are some relationships that really just come for a season, that really just come for a point in time. And mourning that was really hard for me. It really was. And it also like pushed me to be like, I want that again. Yes, I have my husband. Yes, I have my family, but I have been made in a way that I need a friend in my life. I do. And so like going through that experience of understanding that like you could have a good relationship and sometimes it's just not,
it's not lasting.
It's not lasting. Te digo la verdad, hay veces que I think that's why my prayer with you is different. I think that's why I'm like, Lord, let this one stick.
This would be the one.
This would be the one, because I don't know how I could mourn this one. It was really hard. It was really hard for me. And so that started to transition like different perspectives about, different stages in life and some things, happen. And then what also did it, and that's when we started to have a relationship. I remember one of the earliest things you did was that we have Marco. If you have Marco, it's a really cool app. You prayed for me through Marco. I thought that was the wildest thing, because I was like, wow, this is a person that's taking the time to record herself praying for me because I have a need. And you didn't care. Like, you didn't have like any shame, And I kid you not, like you prayed for me before we even had a relationship, before we had an argument or anything. That is what I clung to say, this is a person I want to be friends with, honestly. Because I thought, what more do you need than to have a person that's willing to pray for you? That's what you showed me. And so I guess like I've always had good relationships with the coworkers, but that to me was like, I've never seen that. I've never seen someone be so willing to pray for me. And I want to have that relationship where we could be that for each other. And so I think that's when things started to shift for me, and I started to be like, what do I identify? What do I find in this person? And I think that another thing that helped me was that you make me better. I think that's an important aspect of a relationship. I don't think that if you're not growing in your friendships, I don't think they're healthy.
Yeah.
I don't think that they are, sorry to say it, but I think that that's pointless.
Mm-hmm.
You need to be better. You need to grow. Yes, growing up, high school, I can understand those not having a lot of sometimes purpose because we're still learning our own identities. But when you're an adult and you're getting ready for the next stages of your life, like a marriage and parenting, you cannot afford to have relationships that don't help you grow.
Yeah.
And I think that being with a person that is very different than I am, in many ways, like much stronger than I am, like you motivate me and challenge me to think differently. And I think that's helped me. I think that that's made me better. And so, yeah, definitely the prayer, the prayer and you making me better were like the turning points. Yeah.
That's where it. Dang,
I'm really trying to like not make it emotional because I don't want to cry, you know?
But because I feel like people are gonna be like, okay, yeah, you guys love each other, so what, you know? but we do love each other. Do you think that? Or were you gonna say something? No. Do you think that we? Do you think that we like each other, or that we love each other?
I don't like you all the time. For sure.
Man, she answered quick, that one. She was like, I don't like
you. You know what's funny? I just went on a 2-week vacation and I told Lula, we're like in a honeymoon phase right now. Like, I'm so happy to see you. I'm so excited. Like, literally, like, we couldn't stop talking and we were sharing and we were just, todo. Meme wars were just great. And we're just like happy. Like, I'm really happy in your company.
Is you're coming off of it?
No,
is that what you're saying?
What I'm saying is, like, I think we miss each other. And I think that like build in anticipation. Like, I can't wait to see you. I can't wait to spend time with you. And obviously those emotions are going to keep you as far away from creating tension and all of that. But yes, I do think the honeymoon phase is somewhat ending because we're also ourselves. We're also going back to our normal selves. And now it's like, okay, you're back. You know, I'm happy to see you. But this is how you are, you know? And I forgot that how you are is not my favorite person all the time.
Yeah.
You know? And so, yes, I definitely think that, like, yes, of course, there's times where I really like you. I love spending time with you. I love to talk to you. And yes, there are times where I'm like, I don't want to talk to you right now. Like, you're annoying me. And so, but that doesn't change the way that I feel about you permanently. Like, I love you, but I don't always like you.
Mm-hmm.
No. And I don't think you always like me.
Yeah.
She can't hide
I think I think I was asking that because I feel like a lot of the times in friendships, we think that we need, and I think I mentioned it during that podcast with the guys, we think that we need to that love and like are the same thing.
Yeah.
That you need to, that automatically, if you don't like your child, you don't love them. Or if you don't like your friend, you don't love that friend.
Right.
And I disagree. I think that you can love someone and not like them for a period of time.
Yeah.
Or like, I really dislike you right now. You know, however, my love for you is going to make me come back. My love for you is going to make me, you know what, whatever. That's a pet peeve of mine. I have to deal with it, but I love her. I'm coming back, you know, and I'm not leaving.
And that applies to marriage.
And that applies. And so I think, you know, that was just a free one for all of you. You can come to terms with not liking someone for periods of time.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean you don't love them. That doesn't mean you don't care for them, or that you're a bad friend. Mm-hmm. It means that you were human, and that the other person is human as well. And you're going to have moments where you're just like, man, that ticking noise she makes, that's really getting in under my skin, you know? So,
you know, as we start getting ready to close, what are some of the things that you would tell young Kez that was all manipulative y todo, or just someone who probably doesn't have the best habits with friendships or is looking for a friendship, what are some of the things that you think you could either look out for or that you could look for to be in a healthy relationship, friendship with someone?
Well, I think everything that we mentioned in the beginning, honesty, and not honesty just to
Share.
or mask your true feelings. Like, oh, I don't know, that dress does not look good on you. That's
Right.
that's not of a person that loves you. A person that loves you will say, how about we try another dress? And so it's not just honesty, guys. It's the way they go about their honesty. It's the wording they use. I think you told me a lot of the times, it's your tone. It's your tone for me, and so changing that. If you have an amazing friend that tells you, dude, it's your tone. And then we've gotten so close as to say, it's your face expressions. It's just like, you might not say anything. You might not, you might act like nothing, but it's the eyebrow. It's the eyebrow raise for me, But anyway, so honesty, but it's not just, oh, you look fat, or you're dumb, or you're this, and I'm telling you how it is. No, it's, you know what, let's just change the dress, or I like the other one better, or I don't know how you thought of that, but let's come up with a solution together or whatever. And then it's commitment. Who's really there? Who's really there when you're having a bad time, and what the words they use to console you, to bring you comfort, and who's really there for a good time as well. What words do they use to cheer you up more, to hype you up more, or do they destroy you?
Is it really about you, or is it about themselves?
About themselves, exactly. Do they sympathize with you with a very underhanded, like, oh my God, that's amazing, I remember when that happened to me. Okay. And now all of a sudden that whole conversation is about that person's experience. Yeah. And how great it was for that person. And you're like, okay, well then thanks, and also I'll go as far as to say this. Don't look for that, be that.
Ooh, that's good.
Don't look for, make a list if you want, of all the things we've said. Be that, become that. And trust me, you will attract that. You will attract that. I think at the core of our friendship, we attracted each other. At the core of our friendship, we have core similarities. We might be different in a lot of things because life made us that way. The way we approached problems and issues made us that way. But at the core of it all, we have similar values. And that's why we attracted each other. And that's why it was easier for us to say, let's commit to this friendship. Yeah. So be that list. Make a list, or imagine your man, this is that kind of friendship I would want, and become that. And you will attract that person that will tell you everything, that, you will tell them everything, and they'll be happy with you when you're happy, and they'll be sad with you when you're sad. And they'll feel it, like they'll really feel it like it's theirs. Like, when you're sad, you can tell, man, she's really feeling sad for me. And when they're happy, it's like, man, she's really excited with me, and makes you want to share more. So yeah, I would say that, and be on the lookout for people that just want to have you on the background. Like, how do I say this? That for people that they really do think they're the main character, and you're one supportive.
You're the extra.
You're the extra, or a supporting role, let's say. And everything's about them. Everything.
That's good.
Everything.
In a healthy relationship, you're both the main character.
Yeah. Yeah, because in a healthy relationship, when good things happen to you, I celebrate with you. Yeah. When bad things happen to you, man, we go down together. Right. And likewise, vice versa. But in a non-healthy relationship, you can tell. When you're the person doing that, maybe not so much, because you lack a lot of self-awareness. But when you have that crappy feeling every time of like, man, I don't know how I don't know how to put it. I don't know how to pinpoint it. I just don't feel it. I don't feel loved. I don't feel recognized. I don't feel appreciated. I don't feel heard. I don't feel like someone genuinely cares. People can care to make fun of. People can care to just gossip. People can care because it's the talk. People can care because they've never been exposed to something like that. And now it's like, oh, yes, give me some. But up to there, who are the people that are really caring because I care about you?
Yeah.
I care about your testimony. I care about what others thinks of you. I care about, about your life. I care about you not going the wrong path. And I'm going to tell you, and I'm going to be loving and really know that I'm saying it from a loving place.
Yeah.
Not just because I want to make you feel bad or anything.
Yeah.
What about you?
I think if you, I'm trying to think of like who our listeners are. I think if you are in junior high, I definitely think that if you don't want to get what's coming to you, be a good friend, but also have the courage to stand up when something isn't right.
Mm-hmm.
If that's something that you're going through in junior high and high school, and maybe you're the girl that's bullying. Why? And then if you're the girl that's standing by and not saying anything because the girl that you hang out with is the bully, también, like, why? Entonces, that's what I would say to that generation of like, you don't have to be looking for drama to have an exciting life. And you don't have to always be like, oh, this and drama that and drama this, so that you can feel like, oh, we have something to talk to. I don't remember who I heard this from, but they said, if all you have to talk to someone is gossip, what do you really, like, what really is this relationship? Other people's lives. Like, there has to be substance. There has to be something else. So that's one thing. I think if you're an adult, I think if you're, preparing yourself for the next stages in your life, I definitely think that something to look out for is who's really there.
Mm-hmm.
Like, really, like, who's there that understands you and knows you. And when all the like glitz and glam is gone, is really like, I'm gonna stick with you.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think that's important. Like, who do you have to depend on that you can say is like, okay, that's a person I know I can depend on. And if the answer is like, I don't really have that right now, I've been there, don't stop praying for it. Like, that, I genuinely have prayed for God to send me a friend. I have had those prayers. And so I think that, pray for that. And like Lula said, be that, and in the friendships that you have, be that. But also, like, I know being in the it crowd is sometimes exciting, but there could be an amazing friend that could change your life that's not in that crowd, that is in a corner, that no one knows about, that no one's talking to, that no one's even like giving a thought. That person could be your Jonathan. That person could be that person for you. And you don't know because you're so focused on trying to belong or trying to be something that you're not. Do that.
Yeah.
And I say Jonathan for those that are not our Christian, listeners. There's a beautiful story in the Bible about two friends, David and Jonathan. And in sweet and simple, all that it means is that Jonathan was willing to lay down his life. He was willing to do everything in his power so that his friend could escape, so that his friend could shine, so that his friend, even though it meant him risking his life or risking the wrath of his father, he was willing to do everything he could because he understood David's purpose. He understood, you have a calling. Regardless of everything, I'm going to help you get to your calling. I'm going to help you fulfill your destiny. That's a friend. Someone that understands you have a calling in your life, you have a purpose in your life, and I'm going to be here for that. If you need a supporter, if you need someone to cry with, if you need someone to show up, I'm going to do that because you have a purpose in your life. That's what I would say.
Yeah. No, yeah.
So.
Well, we hope, guys, that today you took a little bit more than that one episode where we talked about friendships.
That was our first episode.
But exactly. So you took a little bit more. I feel like we've been seeing a lot of especially in memes, I guess, where people celebrate what I would call toxic friendships, what I would call, I am of the idea that a friend that dumps you with their emotional baggage while you're going through your emotional baggage is not a friend. And a friend is the one that will put aside her or his emotional baggage and focus, hey, like, what's wrong? Like, are you okay? Can we talk about it? Do you need help? Help me help you. That's a friend. Not a, and I've seen it a lot lately where it's like, oh, best friends laugh about their depression or whatever. Yeah. And, you and I have a very dark humor, but I don't think when we're serious. When it's serious, we're like, well, let's unite in this pain and wallow in it. No, like, let me, and good thing I mentioned it. Let me clarify. When I say you sympathize with me when I'm sad, I don't just mean, oh, like, las dos vamos a estar bien tristes y we're gonna, wallow in pain. No, I mean, I understand you, but I'm here to also cheer you up in small ways. I'm gonna listen to you, and I'm gonna understand you, and I'm going to give you word if I feel like I can, and give you comforting words. But if you need silence, I'll give you silence. If you need a hug, I'll give you a hug. If you need, I'm not here to keep you there. I'm not here to okay, well, you are your own, it's not bad. No, I'm here to, yes, sympathize with you, but también I want to help you come out of that. I want to help you not feel that way. So, but anyway, what I was coming back, I digressed. I hope all of you guys find a Jonathan. I find a Jonathan, and we both pray that you become that friend. Yeah. So that you can attract that friend. And friendships are very important. Friendships, any relationship really that nourishes you, that helps you change, helps you grow in a positive and good way. And you'll feel it to your core.
People around you won't take notice.
People around you. I mean, when she was gone, a lot of people at church, do you miss her? How much do you miss her? I know, you must be sad. You must be miserable. And yes, for a lot of things I was like, yes, I'm sad, I'm miserable y todo eso, pero the fact that people know how close we are, the fact that people know how attached we are to each other, it just goes to show that we just exude that. We exude good friends. We exude good friendship morals and values. And I think that's a plus for us. Yeah. I think that's a plus because we don't have, right now we're speaking about it, but we don't have to speak about it every time. Like, oh my God, Kez is my bestie because of this and that. No, that's so... People notice. They don't, we don't have to speak about it because people know. We know.
I have security in this relationship.
And so, hopefully you'll get to our level.
Anyways, thank you for joining us, and we hope to see you next time.
Bye.
Hi guys, thank you for joining us. This is part 2 of a series that we did on friendships. If you haven't watched part 1, go ahead, go back to the channel, click on it. Otherwise, thank you for joining us, and we hope you enjoy this video.
Bye.